Welcome to the Muse. Today, I'm going to give you the best tip you've probably ever heard for the holidays. I know I said that last time, but I think this one's even better. Something that happens over the holidays, there's a lot of hoopla, and everybody online is saying, oh, it's amazing and so much fun, and blah, 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 blah. But the reality, folks, the reality for people like me who do what I do, I hear all the stories behind the story, right? And most people, even if they're looking forward to the holidays, are also under stress and, they're fearing some kind of thing going wrong, everything not being perfect, all of the things. And so I was running a group the other day, and one of the women was talking about how she was having people come over her house, and she was stressed out because the house is a mess and she didn't know what to do, and she was going to be there shortly and all of the things. And we began to have this conversation about, the fear that we have around everything being perfect and being ready and all of the things. And I said, well, what do you think it would be like if you walked into someone's house and they were running around doing dishes and cleaning up and everything? And how would you experience that? Right. And they were nervous and anxious and all that stuff. Versus if you walked into their house and the house was a little bit messy, but they led you over to the living room, you sat down across from them, and they looked into your eyes and they said, so tell me, how are you? What is going on? I want to hear everything. Start at the beginning, go through the middle, go right to the end, and don't leave anything out. And they just had all of their presence and attention on you. Which would you prefer? And it was, of course, a very, very easy answer. And it's in those moments that we realize, the mess in the kitchen and how we come across, or how Uncle Jerry's going to come across, or what people are thinking or doing, or if we're late or early. I used to get so upset when we were late. Like, that is all the ego's fear of the way we're going to look, the way we're going to make other people feel, the way if people, fears that are completely made up in our head. But the experience, the human experience, and the ones that we remember are when we're really connecting with other people. So my tip today on the Muse for your holidays is, how can you manage the fear about things going off without a hitch or whatever, which is not what someone's going to remember. Oh my God, that was just this, it was just so perfectly done. But instead, focus on, how can I connect with people the most? How can I make the most of my connections? What are my intentions going into this holiday? And listen, if your intentions are that every dish is done and that everything looks perfect and that everybody is, well, if your intention is that everybody's perfectly happy, you should let go of that intention, because that is not in your control. But if your intention is, every decoration, everything is absolutely perfect, then fine, you are in alignment and you are on point. If that's truly, truly what you want most out of it. My hunch is that what you want most out of it is to have a joyous day, to feel joy inside of you, to have an experience that you can remember one way or another, and to not get swept up in emotions. And if that's your intention, then you might want to give some thought to how much time you are putting into stressing over certain things. And if they don't go the way that you want, and instead put some time into, if everything doesn't go absolutely perfectly for me today, how do I want to handle that so that I still make the connections I want to make and have the experience that I want to have? And you might even throw into that as well, if other people are not behaving the way I want them to behave, or they are not happy the way that I would like them to be happy. And I can't do anything about what someone else is experiencing inside themselves. No matter how many handstands or backflips I do, ultimately someone's experience is going to be their own, and is their own. If someone else is not having the great time that I want them to have, how can I still have a good time? How can I still feel connected? And part of the answer to that might be that you bring some objectivity to people who are having a hard time, or that aren't behaving the way you want them to behave, or having the time you want them to have, that you just can have compassion for them and for yourself, and kind of watch, almost like a fly on the wall, the experience, and then come back to yourself. Okay, well, what do I want? What would be my next step? Do I want to go bring my plate and sit down next to, cousin so-and-so and have a conversation? about whatever it is that you're wanting to connect with them on. So that is the Monday Muse for today and for the holidays. It is all about being present. What is your intention for the holiday as it relates to the experience that you want to have, not the experience you want other people to have, because you don't have control over that. But I will tell you that when you have the experience you want to have, other people tend to have the experience you want them to have. Or at the very least, if they don't, you still get your experience. And guess what? You've just modeled something pretty neat for them, and you can hold space for them and have empathy that they're having a harder time. I hope you have really the holiday that you're meant to have. And I hope that you enjoy it at the very least from the sense of overcoming any fear that you might be experiencing in the days leading up to it.